Welcome to the Garage USA. I'm Jonathan Brinke, and today I'm going to give you a little walk around of my 2012 Mercedes-Benz C300. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to give you a walk around of my 2012 Mercedes-Benz C300. Now there is a lot of salt and road grime on the car. It's just something that, living in Minnesota, that's what happens in the winter, and it's just something you got to deal with. Now there is one major thing wrong with the car right now, and I'll show you that in a few minutes, but right now I'm going to go ahead and show you some video that I took not long after I had actually purchased the car. Now I do absolutely love the look of the C300. I think the styling of this, and this is the sport model, so it's got that emblem that lays flat on the hood, but I just absolutely love the style. The front of it just looks really nice. And the profile of the car just looks really nice. It's got great sculpted lines down the side. It has a little bit of a stance where the rear end sits a little bit higher. The rear tires are wider than the front tires, and that's how it comes on the sport model. It is the 4MATIC, which means it's all-wheel drive, so this should be a perfect vehicle to run year-round. Alright, so I'll give you a look at the interior. And really, everything inside the car just looks fabulous. From the upholstery to the wood, the gauges, the steering wheel, just everything in here is so nice. I'll give you a look at the back seat. And then my favorite feature in here is the sunroof. Absolutely love sunroofs. Go ahead and I like when you first power it on, it shows the little C300 on the instrument panel there. Alright, so go ahead and start this thing up. Under the hood is a 3-liter V6 that produces 228 horsepower and 221 foot-pounds of torque. This has made it to a 7-speed automatic transmission that sends the power to all 4 wheels. And one of the features it has, I call it the Starbucks reminder. It's the little coffee cup. And what it is actually a distracted driving reminder. And it's actually, that's the one thing I actually don't like. And I'll show you a little clip. It has gone off a couple of times, once during construction that I was driving through, and the other time I was trying to pass a vehicle, and so I was riding that center line, kind of looking to make sure it was clear, and then the warning went off, and it stays on for quite a while after it does go off. So that part is a little irritating. That's the one thing I don't like about the car. But so far, I mean, it's just got so much cool stuff. The stereo for 2012, I mean, it's got an SD card slot, it has a CD slot, AM/FM stereo, navigation, you can link it to your phone. So there's just a lot of cool things in here that, you know, especially for a 2012, just a lot of nice features. Let's take it for a drive. Alright, so the C300 is actually a really comfortable car. It's very smooth. The seats are supportive. They're not too firm. They're just a right balance, and the comfort is just there. It's the most comfortable car I've ever owned, and it's the smoothest car I've owned too. It's not a sports car, so it's not fast when you floor it. It is adequate. It has a nice exhaust note, and it'll go right up to highway speeds or beyond. You know, this will do 100 miles an hour without straining it too hard, and that might be a German car thing. I know my mom's BMW, she's got a 5 Series, it'll cruise right up to 100 without any issues, and our Passat is the same way. I have had this car now for a little over a month, and it did spend about 3 weeks at the Mercedes-Benz dealership, just because there were some things that were wrong with it when I got it. It did have a little shake in the back. I call it a booty shake, and it was actually quite terrifying at 60 miles an hour. It needed some work in the rear suspension. They replaced some springs. It also had bad tires all the way around, so they replaced those. And normally Carvana's warranty doesn't cover wear items, so I don't know how the Mercedes dealer did it, but I only had to pay sales tax. So out of all the repairs that were done, the tires, brakes, the rear shocks, the alignment, all of that, I only had to pay $176 for the repair, and I was expecting my out-of-pocket expense was going to be about $3,000. So, they had the car for 3 weeks, but they also fixed it and got Carvana to pay for it. So that was pretty fantastic on their part. And again, the car itself, it's a great car to drive. My wife and I take this thing everywhere. Since we've got it back, we put a couple thousand miles on it just because we do drive it all over. We took it out yesterday. I'm working on a project, and we probably put about 400 miles on it just yesterday. It will replace the Passat as our daily driver. We normally drive that everywhere because of the fuel mileage, and that's one thing, with the V6, it doesn't get as good a fuel mileage as the Passat with that Turbo 4, so we're averaging about 26, 27 miles to the gallon on the highway, but the comfort is well beyond what Volkswagen can do with the Passat. So as far as a comfort standpoint, this is becoming our daily driver. Everywhere we go, we're taking this now, so it is just a blast to drive, and we both absolutely love it. So it's going to be fun to see how well the car performs, and you know, how much we like it over the course of ownership. You know, we've only had it now for a little over a month, and no complaints right now, and I would absolutely recommend buying a C300. Now back here is actually what I am the most upset about. So I'm not going to go into great detail about the accident I was involved in. However, I was rear-ended out on the highway. There is damage to the car, and it's actually pretty upsetting because, I mean, I do enjoy the hell out of this car. It's a beautiful car, it rides nice, and it's just very disappointing that someone, that another driver rear-ended me. So, don't want to get into all the specifics, but we'll take a look at the damage here. So we'll just start over here on the passenger side. Obviously the rear taillight is going to need to be replaced. The trunk lid has some pretty serious damage on there, I think. Bumper cover, it's actually split. There's quite a bit of salt and road grime on the car because it was snowing when I got rear-ended, so. And again, that's all part of the bumper cover there, so. This I'm a little concerned about, the trunk lid being popped up like that. You know, maybe it's just a bent hinge or something, or maybe just because it's compressed, I don't know. You know, I haven't even opened it up because who knows if it'll close. So there's that. And that's another thing too with body damage is, you know, it's like peeling an onion, you know, you get all these different layers. I mean, this is just what we see on the surface, and then we'll peel off that bumper cover and trunk lid and taillight and see what's damaged underneath it. So let's take a look at one more thing. And this I didn't even know was a thing, but apparently these headrests deploy to prevent whiplash. So those will have to be reset. Both sides have popped forwards. I have no idea how that works, but again, it's something the shop will do when they reset those. So it's nice not to get whiplash, but you know, it's also like being punched in the back of the head when those deploy. So that is my Mercedes-Benz C300. Obviously more videos to come on this. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'd like to thank you for watching The Garage USA. I'm Jonathan Brinke, and I'll see you next time.